a very good evening to each and every one of you, and welcome to this week's episode of Your Manchester. Hello, love.
Hello. Do you know what? I'm so glad you are back safe from last week and that Halloween special. I was getting very worried.
It was very, very scary.
It was.
To say the least.
I hope our Hayles is okay this week.
Well, she'll be here in a little bit and she'll be able to talk about us.
Fantastic.
Yes,
What have we got on this week?
We have got a marvellous, marvellous show lined up for you. We really have. We are literally going to the circus.
Oh, lovely. Doing some circus skills.
Trying not to have a mood swing.
Oh, right, okay.
And then if we do have a mood swing, the easiest thing to do is relax with a little bit of jazz.
I like the sound of that. And where is that coming up?
It's only here on
Your
Manchester. Now, as we did say, we are looking forward very much to the circus coming to town.
Of course we are, yes.
It is going to be exciting.
It's going to be fab.
It's a proper circus.
I know. It's 1903 Circus. It's coming to the Lowry. And guess who got a bit of a sneak peek? Not me.
Not me.
Not Belinda.
No. Let's have a look at this VT.
You're right, so. Hi, Luke. What are you doing here? Well, I've come to see Circus 1903. So have I. You haven't? I have. What are the chances of that? Did you know it's coming to the Lowry next month? I've heard. I think we should go to that one too. And I've heard they've got an incredible lineup of world-class performers. Doing juggling, fire throwing, you name it. All sorts. Well, should we go have a talk with the cast and maybe try a few tricks out for ourselves? I think that's a good idea. Come on then, let's go. Let's give it a go.
Producers have asked me, we need a big, loud American ringmaster who looks good in a mustache. And I said, well, I don't know about the mustache part, but I can do the show. No, I'm the ringmaster in the show, and I keep the show moving. I introduce these amazing circus acts from all over the world and provide a little humor, a little color, a little context, and keep the show running.
And how long have you been in the circus show world?
Well, only as long as this show. My background is not in circus. My background is as a magician. Yeah, I've been touring all over the world for almost 40 years doing magic shows. And, you know, I never really passed into the world of the circus. And this show has opened my eyes to the amazing history and skills and the wonderful people of the circus. Yeah, I love it.
Roll up, it's time to expect the unexpected. So, would you say juggling is a hard skill to master?
It's how to say, you have to be consistent.
Yeah.
It's mostly it's work. You have to be like consistent, like doing every day and being like, because it's boring, because when you kind of do it, it's just falling on the floor. It can be really frustrating. But when you start to be able to do some tricks, then it's like, it's a good feeling.
Yeah, and so where did the passion for circus training, juggling come from?
When I was a kid, I've seen a couple of jugglers that I really liked, and then I became like, wow, I want to do that.
My parents, they were both circus performers, so I'm just like continuing on the second generation.
Right, so it's in your blood, you've been doing it.
Yeah, I've been born in a circus.
Wow. And what do you love most about the circus?
The audience.
The audience.
The audience.
What do you like about the audience?
They just look when they're getting crazy.
So, what was your favourite part of the show today?
The elephants.
The elephants, and why was that?
The animation of the elephant.
Oh, the ringmaster.
Oh, he was amazing, wasn't he?
Absolutely hilarious.
What did you like about him?
I'm so good with the kids, so exciting. It's brought the whole thing together.
Wow, what a fantastic performance of Circus 1903. And remember, it's coming to the Lowry on the 19th to the 24th of November.
And you're watching Your Manchester.
Come now, not long.
It's not long at all, is it? 19th to when?
To the 24th, I believe that she said there.
Isn't that amazing?
I know, and you know what? It's really good because it is that traditional kind of circus, the one that's like very much the Greatest Showman, but without Hugh Jackman. But we can't have it all, can we?
And without harming animals.
I know, a great moment when they bring the elephant out, and I think that's going to be really kind of a powerful one because it's not real. It's a big puppet.
Like Warhorse.
Yeah, I want you to go. It's a puppet. If you're old, you'll know what I mean there.
I like that.
You did,
Do
didn't
it
you?
again one more time.
It's a puppet.
It is a
Brian
puppet.
Connolly.
He's a southerner, though. We're talking about the north today.
All right, and we've got a woman of the north, a
Yes.
very classy woman of the north, who has come all the way from sunny Salford.
Sunny Salford, and you may recognise her. She's on our show around about this time last year.
Oh, she's a friend of your Manchester.
She is indeed. This is Ash Cox, all the way from Salford Junior. How are you?
I'm all right.
Long time no see.
I'm just laughing at you calling me a classy woman. Thank you.
She is.
You've got classier as the year's gone on.
I know.
You look marvellous. You've had a haircut.
I am.
You look lovely. You've got your nice pink, purple, green hair.
Green.
And more importantly, she's come to talk about what's going on at the new Adelphi Theatre, because there's loads of stuff, isn't there?
And it's gone on quite. It's improved as well, hasn't it? It's improved
Yeah.
over the last year.
Yeah.
What's happened? Would you say from last year to this year?
Because you guys came in November last year.
Yeah.
And you saw the space and everything that was happening. So we've just celebrated our first birthday in September, which is lovely.
Is it really?
Yeah. It feels like it's flown by, but also it feels like it's kind of been there for years.
Yeah.
I can't believe it has gone so quickly,
Yeah.
but there's loads of different things coming up. You celebrated the birthday,
Yeah.
but there's also this amazing documentary that you're going to be screening in about 2 weeks' time, aren't you?
So that's called, it's The Changing Face of Salford. And 50 years ago, it's this 50th anniversary, a Salford Uni lecturer sort of documented the changing face of Salford, so that was sort of going from the slums to the redevelopment of Salford. And he documented it all. And we're doing the screening, the 50th anniversary screening. He's going to be there to do a Q&A.
Isn't there a strange story about one of your current people that work at the uni?
Yeah.
What's
So
that then?
Janet, who's one of our cleaners, and her job is to clean the theatre. She's in the documentary as a kid in an old tin bath, and like Michael Gudger, who's the maker of the films, like they're an old family friend. So she was literally cleaning the other day, and she came up to me and she said, "What's that in the programme? I'm in that film." And obviously we're going to host it.
That'll
so
take her right back.
yeah.
I hope she's going to be a special VIP on the night. No cleaning.
No, absolutely not. Night off.
Wearing a best fur.
Yes.
Do you know what that reminds me of? You know that programme 7 Up, that the ITV documentary where it was 7 Up and then 14 Up, and they used to every 7 years
yeah.
revisit the
Yeah,
children
yeah.
and then see
Oh,
how
yeah,
their
yeah.
lives had developed.
Yeah.
It kind of sounds a little bit like that.
It does until you use the word 7-Up. My mind goes elsewhere. So anyway, bringing right up to bang up to date now.
Yeah.
You've got that, but you've also got something really special coming, haven't you?
We have one. I know you're not supposed to have favourites, but
have.
I've got one of my favourites
Yeah.
coming up. It's called A Musical, as in amusing and musical. And it's Kiri Pritchard McLean, Jade Adams, and Dave Cribb and the Quavers, which is a live band. And basically, it's a show where comedians get on stage and sing their favourite song from like Disney or musical theatre. Not all the comedians can sing, which makes it even better. And they basically compete against each other in the show, and whoever wins gets £200 for their chosen charity.
Oh, that's brilliant.
It's amazing. Saw it in Edinburgh in August, and they packed out the grand, which is 5,000. We did it with they come to us every year, and last year Jason Manford did it, and he said to his daughter in the day, "What should I sing tonight on stage?" She said, "The Little Mermaid." So he sang part of the world.
Oh my
And some of the other comedians did Cell Block Tango, and they had a giant blow up doll. And so Jason Manford ended up on at the end with this blow up doll, and it got raucous.
So do you have no idea what they're going to sing on the night? Because this is on the 12th of November, isn't it?
Yeah,
so
next Tuesday.
Week, yeah. That's really exciting.
Such a
But
treat.
it's only one night only, so you've got to get in there quick. Have they still got tickets left?
There's some tickets left. I'd
Not many.
suggest
I
booking.
imagine
Yeah.
it's fast selling out that way.
Yes.
It sounds wonderful. There's so much going on.
I'm getting online and booking myself.
There is.
Just hands.
You've got a new box office now.
We have.
That's good, isn't it?
Designed by a student.
Designed by a student?
Yeah.
Nothing like free labour.
Interior design student, Imogen, she designed
Yeah.
it, and then it was made, and it's in, and it's got lights, and
That's
it's amazing.
fab.
Because I think a lot of people forget that your theatre is there for Joe Blogs to walk in and watch
Yeah.
the show, aren't they? It's not just for
Absolutely.
the students, is it?
No, we have everything. We have comedy, theatre, music, dance. We do film nights. We do a bit of everything, and so the students, as part of their studies there, they'll put on a show in the theatre, which we host on a public facing platform, which means they're getting industry experience. And then we bring visiting companies in to do sort of larger scale shows, like internationally renowned artists. It's kind of a mix of everything, and anyone can come. Students can come, general public, anyone and everything,
I
basically.
remind people where it is, because it is tucked off the beaten track, but it's quite near a Metrolink station, isn't it?
At train station.
Oh,
So Salford Crescent's train station's there, and there's a little slip road, and we're just at the bottom. So yeah, it's a building full of everything, and obviously people study there during the day, and I work there during the day.
And this is kind of born out of the fact that there was so many students that have worked their way up to mega popularity, isn't there? I mean, name just some of the students that have come from there. Though.
Well, Kiri Pritchard McLean, who does a musical,
Yeah.
she's alumni.
Jason
Manford's
former
alumni. Peter Kay has got an honorary doctorate. Like, Salford's where it's at. And Salford students are amazing.
Well, Salford is quite an amazing place, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's blooming marvellous.
It's blooming marvellous. And what is it you do within the uni yourself then?
So I have the longest job title. So I'm a front of house and audience development coordinator.
Right.
So sort of like front facing kind of engagement stuff, which is why I'm here. Hello.
Yes. Hello.
Just to sort of let people know that anyone can come, it's public facing. Sort of what we've got on, I work with the companies and figure out, you know, what kind of show it is and who do we want to sort of bring in to see it or who can work on it. And I do my little announcement. I put my posh voice on.
Oh, your telephone voice.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the new Adelphi Theatre for tonight's performance of a musical.
Fantastic.
So come and have a laugh at that next
Don't hide
week.
your Salfordness, love. Don't hide
You
it.
hide yourselves out for train stations and voicemail.
I do.
recordings as well, don't you?
And toilets. I love the toilets on Virgin trains, mate.
Oh yeah, they're
You can have a
very
good chat with the
yeah,
voice, can't
yeah. Don't flush this down the toilet. Don't
Yeah.
flush your dreams down the toilet. Yeah.
Don't flush your dreams down the toilet. Oh, there's
Good
only you
advice,
come
I
up with
take
something
that.
so thoughtful and provocative. I love it. Well, thank you very, very, very
Thank
much
you
for
for
coming
having
in
me.
today. Speaking of thoughtfulness and provoking wonderful thoughtfulness.
Oh, it's not Hayley, is it?
Our Hayley got invited to a lovely VIP event.
How did I know that?
I don't know, it's almost like it's written down. Anyway, she got invited to a lovely VIP event for an absolutely amazing charity.
Oh, she was just schmoozing with the stars here, there, and everywhere. Bit of argy-bargy even.
Well, literally, as we found out, as we sent our Hayley to the Moodswings annual wonderful party.
Now today I'm here at Rossall Restaurant in Manchester for the Moodswings annual fundraising lunch. So, let's see what it's all about. So here we are with Linda Wilson, the CEO of Moodswings. So Linda, thank you very much for having me.
Our pleasure. We're really excited to have you here.
So what have you been up to? What's new?
Oh, lots of new things with Moodswings. We have this annual lunch every year, as you know, but this year we're announcing the opening of our cafe, which is going to be sometime towards the end of this month, so that's really big news for Moodswings.
I was going to ask you about that. So it's the end of this month?
Yeah, we're not sure of the exact date yet, but we should be up and running by the end of this month, and we're really excited. Everything's ready. We're just waiting to welcome people in.
Because life, it can be really stressful for a lot of us, can't it? And at times it can be overwhelming.
Yeah, absolutely. And we help people to overcome those things or to manage them and just be a bit more resilient.
Yeah.
And we support people to be the best kind of support that they can for the people that they care about as well, so that they don't allow themselves to be overwhelmed by those things.
Well, I'm Wayne Ashbrook, I'm the current chair of Moodswings. So obviously I always come and support this event.
Yes.
And usually welcome people to the afternoon. But Moodswings is very special to me because I think we offer a very unique service in terms of all the main players like integrity and honesty and being very positive about the models that we use to help people and support people. It's very proactive, very positive way of helping people.
So here I am with James Argent. Arge, everybody.
Hello.
Hi.
How are we? You alright?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Do you know what? I'm very excited to be here and I'm honoured to be here. It's a very special afternoon and I'm very proud, you know, that me and the Arge band, we're performing today. It's just nice to be part of it, and do you know what? This is a special event because it's actually something that I can relate to.
Yes.
A lot of times I just turn up to things and I do my gigs, have amazing times, but it's rare that I actually go to an event which actually means a lot to me as well.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, definitely. What does Moodswings actually mean to you then?
Well, I think obviously, you know, I've struggled over the years. I've had my ups, I've had my downs.
As of a lot of people, yeah.
Sometimes you feel great, sometimes you feel low, and you don't want to know why, and then, you know, you get yourself into a bit of a rut and whatever. So if there's support system and stuff like that, then it just goes such a long way.
Every one of us knows somebody whether we want to admit it or not, very close to our hearts. Maybe often ourselves who have struggled.
Yeah.
You know, we've got the thing where we've got the campaign with Calm where men are committing suicide. But, you know, it's not just men, it's women, it's children, something that we're actually doing at the moment, something else, not Moodswings, about kids with mental health problems. I think that there is not enough people out there that are really getting behind this.
Yeah.
One thing that we found as a family and a group of friends of mine is that everybody says, let's support mental health. Oh, I'm for it, but still people are not talking about it enough. And I feel that if somebody knows somebody that is struggling, it's still, I notice, very easy for people to say, are you okay, and walk away, because it's hard work. Somebody very recently said to me that having a mental health problem, they described it as an eating of the mind illness.
Right, yes.
The way that it eats away at the mind.
Yeah.
And it's invisible and we don't see it.
Yeah.
And I still think that there's so much more that we can do. Not as a nation, but around the world.
Yeah.
To support and love people who are struggling every single day of their lives.
Yeah.
And that's why we support Moodswings as a family.
Well, wasn't that lovely?
It was really lovely. It was nice to see such a turnout and look for a great cause.
Absolutely fantastic. I jumped at the chance.
Because it's a very important thing, I think, to talk about what's going on in the old noggin.
It was absolutely so packed. It was rammed. Lots of money was raised through the auctions that we had as well.
Do we know how much money was raised?
I'm waiting yet. I'm still waiting for it to be added up.
I
shall. The next time we're on camera, we shall probably try and announce it, won't we? But yeah, lots and lots of money was raised. There was paintings from different people being donated. There was all sorts there.
And we saw Arj then,
Yeah,
doing a little bit of serenading, but he himself has, come out and said he's been suffering with his own mental health and
struggles.
Really struggles.
Brave person that can do something like that.
Totally is. And
now, there is a film really that's kind of touching on certain heartstrings and giving us a little insight.
Yeah, I went to see Sorry We Missed You.
Yeah.
I went purely for selfish reasons.
What was the selfish reasons?
My mate Chris is the main guy. An awful lot of the film was lovely. I'd say the first third.
Now we're talking about this film, aren't we? It's Ken Loach film.
Ken Loach film. Sorry, it's Ken Loach film. I found the first third probably too political for an evening's entertainment.
Right.
And I didn't get the chance to be connected with the family until about a third of the way in. But then when you do get to connection with the family, you're locked in, and it takes you on a journey. And
what's the story then?
Basically, he's decided that having a few years earlier, they've misfortunes befell them, and so he'd gone from job to job to job to job, and he decided to become a white van man.
Right.
But in order to be the white van man, he's had to sell the wife's car, and she's a carer. So instead of going from the houses in her car, she's having to do everything by bus. She used that as the deposit for the van, and then when it comes to the crux of the matter, he can't have time off, otherwise he gets fined for time off, and you've got all these responsibilities, and he ends up in a bit of a cycle.
It sounds like an uncomfortable watch, because I watched I, Daniel Blake, which again was a Ken Loach film, and I was, it was brilliant film, but you're watching it going, oh, this happens, and it hurts, it really does.
It's an eye-opener. I mean, it's things like, yes, will I be out there tomorrow saying, I'll have one of them and I want it next day delivery, please. And it's all the people behind getting it that next day delivery that they're all tied in that. And it was the family dynamic, the relationship with the father and the daughter was beautiful, but the father and the son, it must have broken down at some point years ago, and so in order to communicate to his son, he did it through his wife or his daughter.
Right.
Because if he'd tried to do it directly, his son wouldn't have been there. And it was sort of like the mobile phone. There's a part in it about where he takes the mobile phone off the son. Now, as an old geezer, I thought a mobile phone was a phone and you have a camera on it and what have you. But to the young lad, his whole life is in that
it
film.
is though, Colin.
I know.
Are you like that?
Are you like that? And it was for the likes of me, it was an eye opener.
Yeah.
What I did like at the end of the film, the amount of people who stayed in the cinema and people who didn't know each other were chatting to each other, talking about what they just seen.
Is this out now, is it?
It's out. It came out on the 1st of November.
Yeah.
And it's playing in good cinemas near us. Really.
So it's not particularly a cheery movie as we head towards Christmas, but very thought-provoking, yeah?
It's extremely thought-provoking.
And I'm sure it'll win lots and lots of awards, won't it?
I sincerely hope so.
I think it will.
And, unfortunately Chris can't be with us tonight, because I did invite him.
Did you?
Yeah, I said he'd come in on the sofa with me, and that sounds a bit dodgy. So it's like he's all over Europe where it's coming out. And this and
Good
that,
luck to him, he's a
yeah.
fantastic bloke. Yes, well, thank you very much to the both of you. We're moving swiftly now onto yet another VT.
But this one's a...
Yes, it's all about jazz. In fact, it's about a lady of jazz.
Daddy loved me dearly, Mama loved me true. Everything looked bright for me. Our mansion in the city, a porch and garden too, and everything looked bright for me. So I stepped into the circle where the limelight shines, sang a song of rose and myrrh.
So what is Lady of Jazz all about?
So Lady of Jazz is about Honey Gray. She is a jazz singer in the 1920s into 1930s. So it's all about her story, basically. Act 1 starts when she's in Louisiana and New Orleans, and she's talking about how she became a jazz singer, kind of her family background, and how she came to move to Chicago, which at the end of Act 1, we find out that that's where she is in that present moment in time. And then in Act 2, we jump forward to 1933, and she comes back to Louisiana, to New Orleans, to kind of reconnect with her roots and tell everyone back home what she's been up to and how she's been. So.
Oh wow, brilliant. And so where did the inspiration for the story come from?
A love of 1920s jazz to start with. And there's quite a nerdy sort of thing there, because there's the evolution of jazz and blues music, which by the end of our show in 1933 has become swing music, and it's almost a completely different style. But also the fact that in the early part of the 20th century in the southern United States, my father is a working class man of the southern United States, and we have it's a story of how you negotiate a difficult set of cards that have been dealt against you, but still make a success of your life. Stay true to yourself, but make a success despite your circumstances. And that's always a good story.
And what has the audience response been like in general?
There was one time one of the songs that is covered is Careless Love. We did one performance and an audience member was like adding harmonies to it, and I was just like, do you want to come up here? So yeah, but then also I think there's so many themes in the story that just theatre lovers or people who love a good story can get something from it as well. So it's been great to kind of marry those two worlds together in a way and have such a diverse audience.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
And if you think to yourself that her mum, Honey's mum, thinks maybe because she's a mixed race woman, maybe she can pass as white, and maybe she can have an easier life because of that.
So you started touring was it the start of October, and you're coming to Manchester, the Hope Mill Theatre, from the 11th to the 13th of November. If you could just summarise 3 words of what people can expect from the show.
Ooh, 3 words. Fun, deep, and insightful.
Okay, I just have to say, Michaela Benison, superstar, because she's incredible.
That's more than 3 words though, isn't it?
Benison, superstar.
Okay, there we go.
Hyphen in between superstar. Brilliant. So make sure you make your way down to the Hope Mill Theatre and give it a watch for yourself.
Amazing.
It is brilliant. Oh gosh, she's been a busy lady this week.
She's been everywhere. She's been doing more of today's show than we have.
I know.
You realise that, don't you? Huh? You don't even know what's going. I don't know where she is now. She's probably doing some reporting somewhere.
Yeah, I think she's having a rest.
She's having a rest. Unlike this gentleman who you might have saw last week on our Most Haunted episode.
Oh, I did.
But we've not had the chance to properly sit down and meet you. So first of all, introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Thomas, and I think I'm going to be your running news reporter.
He's like Kate Ada. Yes, like Kate
Well, I'm glad
Ada.
you survived last week then.
Oh gosh, it was. I mean, I survived. I thought it was all right, but you know, I don't know about the others. They were breaking
not here
it.
this week, so that
Yeah,
says
they've
everything, doesn't it?
been haunted. They've been taken away.
So what have you got for us this week?
So this week we're going to be talking about climate change. I'm going to try not to bore you too much, but it is a big issue in politics at the moment, especially in the run-up to the general election. So a lot of people are taking a big interest into climate change at the moment. They want to know that their Prime Minister and their political party are recognising it as a big issue and that they're taking an active stance to tackle it. So much so that the Green Party, they have vowed £100 billion to tackle the climate crisis if they were to win in the general election. No idea where they're going to pull that money from, but people care about it and they want to know that their Prime Minister is going to be tackling it. A big group at the moment, and it's been in the news a lot, Extinction Rebellion.
Oh, yes.
So they've been in the news a lot recently.
They're causing chaos.
Yeah.
Are they causing chaos or are they doing good? What do you think?
Well, they are causing chaos. I mean, the thing is that, you know, they've got something to say, but does everybody kind of agree with it?
Yeah.
You know, I think this is seriously up for debate at the minute, and I think the winning party, like you say, if they can probably say the right thing or do the right thing, it's going to make a difference.
I mean, it's particularly prevalent at the moment in the news because the High Court ruled yesterday that the Metropolitan Police in London were unlawful in their decision to stop the protesters. So they shut down the protest in London.
They shouldn't have done that.
And the High Court ruled that that was unlawful because it's a democratic human right to be able to peacefully protest.
And they are peacefully protesting from what I've seen, aren't they?
Well, yeah, they've been shutting down the roads and
From what
causing
I've seen,
havoc.
it just seems to be a load of people waving their arms around and giving it all a bit of...
Yeah, and like you said, Michelle, people are mixed. They do have mixed opinion on Extinction Rebellion. I mean, a lot of police from across the country have been called to London to deal with the protests. And this was going on when the Manchester Arndale knife attack happened. So people were saying that it's taking the police's resources away from where we actually need it. So I guess the question we're all dying to know is, what can we do? And a lot of people are going zero waste to tackle climate change. So things like stop using plastic water bottles when you go to the coffee shop.
I mean, that's coming into play already, isn't it? People are being encouraged to do that, and there's more places now that are doing free water, so you know you can have your reusable ones to just stop you buying those.
And what we've got on the we've got one on the table here, haven't we? So that's for you, Belinda. My challenge to you two is, and I've got one for you, Michelle.
Fantastic.
A lovely giraffe
I like
one.
that.
I want you to use these for a week. Let me know how you get on, but I have to make sure that you don't fill them up with vodka, okay? They're not for spirits.
I mean,
they're
I can't
for
make me decide
water,
that.
teas and coffees. Let me know how you get on.
Right.
Fabulous. It's good stuff. Do you know what, though? What I think is different nowadays is you used to bring up climate change and people used to just kind of not even think about it. It was just 2 words. But now people are having to
They're
pay
rising
attention
to the
and
government.
know that things are happening and we can't ignore it anymore. So it's just on what level do we do it?
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
It's food for thought. And if you've got any thoughts on it, make sure you tweet us at your MCR. That's all we've got time for this week, though.
Oh, yes, but don't forget, if you want more of us, which I'm sure you do, then do press that dingly-dongly thing and subscribe.
Indeed. Until next week, though, from myself and Michelle and the entire team, thanks for watching this week's episode of Your Manchester.